countries that have opened UFO files. We've been very instrumental in this. I work with people at the Vatican, the French government. And what is also very exciting is that one of the most important documents in history, which I'll provide to the committee, is a document from the Ministry of Defense of France committing to my organization to engage in a long-term project to make peaceful contact with these, quote, more than 14 countries that have opened their UFO files. We've been very instrumental in this. I've worked with people at the Vatican, the French government. And what is also very exciting is that one of the most important documents in history, which I'll provide to the committee, is a document from the Ministry of Defense of France, quote, visitors. This document has not been yet released. I will provide it, committing to my organization to engage in a long-term project to make peaceful contact with these, quote, onto the committee. And there is great progress being made in other countries. Admiral Morin, who won the Ampere Prize in France and is an MD, as I am, and also a PhD physicist, and has been an advisor and was an advisor to the committee. And there is great progress being made in other countries. Admiral Morin, who won the Ampere Prize in France and is an MD, as I am, and also a PhD physicist.
Open your mind.
But is it a clone or not?
Oh, now you know going about cloning. Cloning techniques, since 1938, they've been making clone people.
In Russia as well as in the West, research has been underway for many years in biological synthesis, that is, artificial life forms. And according to high intelligence, a stunning breakthrough took place in Russia some years ago. The Russians refer to this breakthrough as a providential discovery, something they learned almost by accident. They discovered the key to creating what are known as organic robotoids. An organic robotoid is an artificial robot-like creature. It looks and acts exactly like a human being, and yet it is not human. A robotoid is alive in a biological sense, but it is an artificial life form. Robotoids respond to conventional routine medical tests in the same way as humans do. They eat, they drink, they breathe, they bleed if cut, and they can be killed. Robotoids can also think, but they think only in the sense that a computer thinks. Like any other computer, the brain of a robotoid has to be programmed for each assignment it is given. But unlike many electronic computers, the biological computer brain of a robotoid possesses an enormous memory. As a result, robotoids can be programmed to communicate and think in such complex patterns that they act human. Organic robotoids are remarkable creatures, but they have many drawbacks. They don't grow or reproduce, but must be manufactured one by one in the desired form. They also have a very limited lifespan, measured in months or even weeks, depending upon how they are utilized. This is due to the fact that their metabolism, while it resembles that of humans, is very inefficient. A robotoid can be manufactured on very short notice, a matter of hours. But after a few weeks or months, it suddenly begins to degenerate physically and mentally. When that takes place, the robotoid has to be removed from service and disposed of. To extend its useful life as much as possible, a robotoid is customarily cooled down to slow its metabolism between assignments. Organic robotoids are extremely expensive, troublesome creatures to produce and utilize. And robotoid capabilities do not exceed those of human beings. All they can really do is simulate human beings. But, my friends, for intelligence purposes, that's all they have to do. To produce an organic robotoid, it is necessary to have a pattern to go by. The pattern required is that of genetic coding, taken from a few cells from the body of a human being. In this respect, the Russian technique sounds like cloning, but the technique itself is totally unrelated to genuine cloning. A robotoid is produced within a matter of hours, and it simulates the human donor at his current age. Like any man-made copy of anything, a robotoid is never a perfect copy of the human that is to be simulated. There's always small discrepancies in appearance and behavior, but these are seldom great enough to arouse any suspicion. Last month, I revealed that the Russians can manufacture organic robotoids, which are almost exact carbon copies of real human beings. This is done by a process that simulates the genetic coding of the person to be copied. It sounds a little like cloning, but it's not. A clone of a human would itself be a human, but an organic robotoid is not human. It's an artificial life form, like an animal in some ways, but like a computerized machine in others. Every Russian robotoid has what is called a holographic brain. This brain duplicates essentially the entire memory of a person being copied. The key to doing this is a new technique called an ultrasonic cerebral hologram. Using high-frequency sound waves, which are inaudible, a complete three-dimensional picture is made of a person's brain. This is a painless, non-destructive process, and under the proper conditions, it can be done without the person even being aware of it. Last month, I revealed that the Russians are using Nelson Rockefeller's hit list to weed out Bolsheviks here in America, and for roughly 3 years they have been preparing for this day. They have been secretly making cerebral holograms of the people on the list at every opportunity. This has been done to every person on Rockefeller's list who has visited Russia or Eastern Europe in the past 3 years. When an organic robotoid is made to simulate, for example, our late President Jimmy Carter, 2 major factors are involved. One is the genetic coding required to simulate Carter's appearance, voice, fingerprints, and so on. The other is a holographic image of Carter's brain. This image is a complete record of the neuron patterns which existed in Carter's brain at the moment the hologram was made. Therefore, it contains all of the memory and knowledge Carter had up to that moment. When a Carter robotoid is made, the biological computer in its head is caused to form according to the holographic record of Carter's brain. However, certain portions of the robotoid computer are caused to deviate from the holographic record. The end result is a biological computer which has to be programmed, but which contains essentially all of Carter's memory, involuntary mannerisms, and the like. As a result, a Carter robotoid will automatically do certain kinds of things without the need for specific programming. For example, a Carter robotoid will seem to recognize old friends. That's because the computer memory of the robotoid reproduces Carter's memory of that friend. The holographic process puts it there automatically without the Russian programmers even having to know it's there. Organic robotoids are such amazing creatures that they are still a subject of questioning and debate. This is true even among the Russian scientists who made them a reality. For example, robotoids seem to have no true instinct for self-preservation. In this regard, they act like machines, simply doing as they are told to do. By contrast, both humans and animals generally have the instinct for self-preservation. Robotoids can be programmed for self-preservation, but they are equally willing, if willing is the word, to perform suicide missions. Exploratory one-way trips into space are only one example of this. If a space mission looks too dangerous to risk the life of an experienced cosmonaut, a robotoid can now be used. The robotoid copy of the cosmonaut is already trained the moment it's made, thanks to its holographic memory.
look at yourself, you're ugly. When you touch yourself, you're hot. I'm getting old. I'm getting fat. And I don't believe in God. My mother is dead. My father is dead. I'm gay. I'd like to be a poet. This is my house.
Es como estar en el plató de la película Transformers. Pero aquí la ficción es realidad. La empresa japonesa Suidobashi Heavy Industry creó un nuevo juguete gigante, Curatas. Ese es el nombre de este robot que llega a una velocidad de hasta 9 kilómetros por hora. Puede comandarse a través de un teléfono con 3G o ser piloteado por un humano desde una especie de cabina. La máquina de 4 toneladas está equipada con un sistema de armas futuristas que incluye una ametralladora capaz de disparar 6.000 pequeñas pero agresivas balas de plástico por minuto. ¿Cómo se activa? Con una sonrisa. Curatas mide nada menos que 4 metros de altura y cuesta una bagatela, algo más de $1 millón.
Sous Louis XIV, dans la grande ville de Paris, le cardinal prépare un mauvais tour.
Saludos a todos los hermanos en Facebook y YouTube. Ahora, en la introducción vieron cómo la electrónica ha desarrollado sistemas de almacenamientos de datos y programables. Tenemos los llamados humanoides, quienes estarán presentes en el día del juicio final. Pregunta: ¿con qué objetivo? Con el único y exclusivo objetivo de matar a todo aquel que no adore ni le rinda culto a estos programables humanoides y androides, como en los tiempos de Nabucodonosor adoraron estatuas. En estos últimos tiempos todos serán obligados a implantarse un microchip en la mano derecha o en la frente, liderado por un humanoide y miles de androides imponiendo su sistema satánico. Veamos las escrituras. Apocalipsis 13, versículos del 11 al 18 según el contexto. Léanlo en sus casas, que la palabra de Dios hablará por el Espíritu Santo de Dios a sus vidas.
Sleep tight, sweet dreams.
Mi hermano, esto no es juego. Este sistema del 666 y los Illuminatis ya tienen inclusive el poder religioso total, me refiero del Vaticano, ahora liderado por los Illuminatis, y vendrá el anticristo de esta iglesia. Pregunta: ¿en qué parte específicamente habla de un humanoide la palabra de Dios? En Apocalipsis capítulo 13 versículos del 14 al 15, la palabra de Dios dice: y engaña a los moradores de la tierra con las señales que se le ha permitido hacer en presencia de la bestia, mandando a los moradores de la tierra que le hagan imagen a la bestia que tiene herida de espada y vivió. Y se le permitió infundir aliento a la imagen de la bestia, para que la imagen hablase e hiciese matar a todo el que no la adorase. El capítulo 13 versículo 15 atalarata resaltante. Y se le permitió infundir aliento a la imagen de la bestia, para que la imagen hablase e hiciese matar a todo el que no la adorase. Pregunta a todos los colegas: ¿existe una imagen o una estatua en tiempos antiguos que hable y que tenga la capacidad de tomar aliento de vida? Díganme ustedes, si en la imagen ven una estatua que respire y que pueda hablar e inclusive pueda ordenar matar a todo aquel que no la adore, más claro que el agua, habla claramente de un humanoide. Pregunta: ¿Cómo mandar a un humanoide a matar a todo aquel que no lo adore? Con una señal de radiofrecuencia y microchip implantado en la mano derecha, todo el brazo o en la frente. Profetizado hace 2000 años en la palabra de Dios. Imagen que tenga aliento de vida, y si tiene aliento de vida, es un organismo cibernético animado o orgánico, en la cual tiene la facultad de poder hablar e inclusive matar a todo aquel que no lo adore. ¿Y tú, mi amado hermano, pregunta, te inclinarás a la imagen del anticristo para el fin de los tiempos? Muy bien, eso lo veremos muy pronto. Prepárate para el juicio.
What the hell?